Hey guys, here's a good news for Nnamdi Kanu. Tinubu and the UK president begin secret negotiations. What is happening behind closed doors? If you would like to know, then stay tuned as I unveil everything to you. But firstly, let me warmly welcome you all back to this amazing channel. If you're a new viewer, if this is your first time of coming across our videos today, kindly hit on the red subscribe button and the bell icon below so you wouldn't miss out on any of our new amazing updates, which will of course be dropping soon. Now let's head back to the content. We have yet another major update regarding the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is not just one of those regular stories. This is a development that could change everything we thought we knew about his detention, his trial, and even his possible release. Right now, as we speak, the Nigerian government and the United Kingdom are in a negotiation. Yes, you heard that correctly. Negotiations that are going on behind closed doors. And if you follow this story carefully, you will understand why this is extremely important and why it might be the breakthrough many people have been praying for. So what exactly is happening? Yesterday around 5 p.m., reports started circulating online about a Nigerian government delegation that quietly left the country for the United Kingdom. And at first, many people thought it was just another diplomatic visit, but when video of their arrival in London began to appear, things started getting interesting. According to the Nigerian stories, the delegates were sent by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the UK Ministry of Justice, and their main purpose was to discuss the case of Senator Ike Ekweremadu, who has been serving a prison sentence in Britain since March 2023 for organ harvesting. Now, this is where the real question begins. What does this have to do with Nnamdi Kanu? Because immediately after the visit, something pretty much strange happened. An aide to President Tinubu by the name of Mrs. Nkem Wesley, who serves as the Senior Special Assistant on Community Engagement for the Southeast, suddenly came out publicly to say that President Tinubu will not intervene in Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Nobody asked her, nobody mentioned Kanu's name, yet she made that statement the same day Tinubu's team arrived in London. So what exactly are they hiding? What's going on behind the closed doors? To understand it, we will have to look at the list of people who traveled for this so-called meeting. Amongst the delegation, we have Nigerian's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, and the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi. Now, this is the same Lateef Fagbemi who defended President Tinubu during the 2023 election tribunal when Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar took their petition to court. It was this same man who stood solidly for Tinubu's legal team. So why would Tinubu send his own personal lawyer, now Attorney General, to the UK to negotiate on behalf of someone convicted of organ trafficking? The only logical explanation is this: Nigeria and the UK are trying to strike a political deal, an exchange of prisoners or mutual legal agreement that will benefit both sides. The UK wants Ike Ekeremadu released early, while Nigeria wants something in return, possibly the return or repatriation of Nnamdi Kanu under certain terms. And if you think this is just speculation, you should think again, because around the same time these meetings were happening in London, a fresh motion was filed at Nigeria's Supreme Court, a motion that could completely change the direction of Nnamdi Kanu's case. The legal twist, guys. Nnamdi Kanu's legal team, led by barrister Aloy Ejimako, filed a motion asking the Supreme Court to set aside its December 15, 2023 judgment, which sent Kanu's trial back to the Federal High Court in Nigeria. Let's also not forget, the Court of Appeal had already discharged and acquitted Kanu in 2023. It was the Supreme Court that reversed that decision and returned the case to the lower court for retrial. Now, this new motion argues that the Supreme Court's decision had no legal foundation because the statute used to charge Kanu had ceased to exist in law. In other words, they are saying the law under which Kanu was being prosecuted is already dead. This motion, filed on November 6, 2025, was officially confirmed by Aloy Ejimako on the verified Twitter, his own personal verified Twitter, complete with copies of the filing. Now, if the Supreme Court accepts this motion, it means the Federal High Court in Abuja, where Justice Nyako is scheduled to deliver judgment on the 20th of November, will no longer have the power to proceed on the case. That November 20th judgment could be postponed or even cancelled entirely. Now, what could be the possible outcomes? From what legal analysts are saying right now, there are three ways this could play out. One, if the Supreme Court accepts the motion, it will admit that its previous ruling was flawed. That would either stop or delay the Federal High Court trial indefinitely. 2. If it rejects the motion, the trial will continue as planned and Kanu will face judgment on November 20th. 3. If it partially agrees, it may adjust the process, for instance by granting Kanu more time or asking the lower court to review specific elements of the case. Either ways, one thing is bigger, one thing is clearer. The Supreme Court is now directly involved again, and the pressure is building from both inside and outside of Nigeria. Now, there is a hidden deal. Let's go back to that London meeting. Why is the Nigerian Attorney General meeting UK justice officials for Ekerewe Madu at the same time Kanu's legal team is filing such a powerful motion? The truth is, Britain has always had an interest in Kanu's case. Remember, Kanu holds British citizenship. That makes the UK a legitimate stakeholder in what happens to him. So imagine this, the UK government is approached by Nigeria to discuss the possible release of Ekwere Madu. The UK says fine, but what about your own detainee Nnamdi Kanu? His case has international implications. Suddenly, both sides will begin exploring a diplomatic arrangement, a quiet settlement that allows both governments to save face publicly while privately reaching a political understanding. It's like saying, you help us, we help you. And to make it look clean and constitutional, Tinubu's aide immediately comes out to deny any presidential interference, just to make sure nobody suspects there's a deal ongoing. Now, why this could delay November 20th judgment? It's pretty much clear. According to internal sources and legal observers, this London negotiation might have been the reason Kanu's lawyers hurriedly filed their motion this week. By doing that, they give the Supreme Court legal grounds to stall or stop the November 20th proceedings, because once the highest court in the land is reviewing a related motion, the lower court cannot proceed with sentencing or retrial. That is a massive strategic move, both legally and politically. You have to give it up for them. It means that by the time the delegation returns from London, they could announce a new development. Maybe an international mediation plan or even a diplomatic resolution between Nigeria and the UK over the case of both Ekwere Madu and Nnamdi Kanu. How the Supreme Court could react? Yes, the Supreme Court now faces a sensitive situation. They can't ignore the motion because it challenges their previous ruling, and they can't proceed carelessly because the entire world, including the UK, the EU, and the US, are already watching Nigeria's handling of this case. There are also three key factors the Supreme Court will have to consider. The first, the validity of statutes, whether the law used to charge Kanu was still in existence when the alleged offense were committed, or the second, jurisdiction, whether the Federal High Court has any legal right to retry a man who was already acquitted by the Court of Appeal, or the third, timing and access to case files, whether Kanu's team had fair access to prepare their defense within the time frame given. If any of these points hold, the trial could be nullified again. Now, the UK strategic exit. Guys, let's look at it from the UK side. The Britain has been under pressure for years, allowing Kanu to be extradited under questionable circumstances. So now, through this negotiation, they might be trying to correct that error quietly by cooperating on a mutual release arrangement. Releasing Ekwere Madu could appear as a diplomatic gesture to Nigeria while pressing for Kanu's freedom, balancing the international optics. That's why everything about this new development is being done quietly. No loud announcement, no official press release, just silent movement between the embassies and ministries. There is a bigger picture, however. At the end of the day, this is no longer just about one man's case. It's about political power, international image, and the legal accountability. If this negotiation succeeds, it could mean one of two things. Either Kanu is released quietly under diplomatic supervision or his retrial is delayed until a political settlement is finalized. Either way, the message is clear. The case is no longer just within Nigeria's control. And for those asking whether this means judgment on November 20 will still hold, well, it's now quite uncertain. Things are changing pretty fast behind the scenes. So, what do you think about all of this? Do you believe this negotiation could lead to Nnamdi Kanu's release, or do you think it's just another political game between the UK and Nigeria? Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. Your opinion really matters. And remember, this is a developing story. We will keep bringing you verified updates as everything unfolds. If you missed yesterday's detailed video about Donald Trump's possible involvement and the US response to Kanu's petition, well guys, it's currently showing on your screen right now. Click on it and watch till the end so you would understand the full background behind these new negotiations. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll be seeing you in the next update. This is Baz News signing out. Now, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.